Hey guys, we're back again with America, Land of the Slaves. And right now in this video we are going to discuss a couple of things. I would like to start off by asking a couple questions first. What if Obama signed an executive order that states that they can indefinitely detain anyone that they say is a terrorist? They don't have to have any evidence for this. They don't have to go and get a warrant. They don't have to give the person a trial. They don't have to notify the person's family that they took this person and put them in prison. They don't have to give any reason for doing this to that person. They can come and siege your laptop, your phone, whatever it is that they want to, if they think that you're using it to be a terrorist. Now the question is, what is a terrorist to them? I advise everyone that watches this to go look up for yourself. I'm going to eventually make a video about it, but just go look up for yourself what they label terrorist. And you will probably more than likely find that you could be a possible one just by your characteristics. Yeah, it's pretty insane. But I wanted to share a quick video. It's actually titled, "Why Don't People Care About Their Freedoms?" And it talks about why this is happening, where you're allowed to basically just be picked up by the government if they don't like you and never seen again. How that actually is not right, and talks a little bit about the surveillance program too, how this is a complete violation of our rights, and so is that executive order. And it's funny because the executive order is only allowed to be in place when we are in a state of national emergency, which he already declared a while ago, if you've been paying attention to politics. But here's the video, and I'll get back to you guys once it's finished.
People out there doing it, and all I have to do is show up.
I mean, you're not getting funded by the corporators, Dave?
No, I'm not being funded by any shady corporate super PACs at this point. I mean...
Well, let's talk about shady corporate super PACs and just shady corporations, because Chris Hedges just did an interview where he was talking about the NDAA, and I know that's something that you've been really on the forefront about, and he was saying that there's a lot of corporate backing from the bill because this is just his speculation, but I just wanted to get your take on it, because he was saying that they don't trust the police to kind of administer when this crackdown does occur, where they're going to need to use the NDAA. What do you think about that?
Well, if you look at something like the NDAA, Obama signing into law and legalizing the abduction of American citizens without a trial using military force, some people out there go the conspiracy route, and they think that this is all this plan that's been put into motion and it was thought up decades ago. But if you actually look at where the evidence is and the proof so far, I believe it can all be explained by greed, misdirected lobbying efforts, and some people out there who really are kind of sick in the head and think that this will make America safer, which is true. We'll be safe if you can imprison anybody you want. That's safety at a pretty heavy cost. But it's mainly about lobbying groups. Defense contractors want this. They know that it's going to be a money train at every step of the way. The same with the surveillance programs. This is being pushed because there's billions of dollars to be made from being one of the server farms or one of the software developers to make this thing happen.
So you really think the NDA is all about lobbying? I mean, how would imprisoning people, I guess, for the private prison industry? Or I mean,
well, that's part of it. I think it's a combination. You have that aspect pushing it for profit, and then truly, like I said, you have people in Washington who have bad ideas, and we're seeing kind of the logical extension taken to the absolute absurdity of the post-9/11 collective paranoia we all bought into. That's what we're seeing. We're now like 11 years out. Bin Laden's dead. His associates are dead or in U.S. custody. So it's like, who are we fighting against? What supervillain, what comic book supervillain is out there that we need imprisonment without trial? Who is so bad that we cannot give them a trial or access to an attorney? And could this be used against...
Well, no human being deserves that at all on the planet. It's not just American citizens. Unfortunately, that's the rhetoric.
Unfortunately, this affects everybody on Earth.
It does, absolutely, David. And let's talk about the NDAA just in general. I mean, what's going on with it? Obama has recently appealed the judge who ruled it unconstitutional. Is there any traction on what's going on?
So yeah, she.
I'm gonna pause this real quick, you guys, because I wanted to make note of. I don't understand why in the hell Obama would appeal a judge's decision to rule that giving people no trial, no reason why you are calling them a terrorist, so on and so forth, that it's unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional. How in the hell? How in the hell would it make sense for Obama to vote against that being unconstitutional, unless he was in on something else? I mean, maybe he's supposed to vote against it or whatever because he was backed by somebody who wanted him to vote against it monetarily. I don't know, but I just thought I'd mention that. Isn't that kind of awkward that he voted against that? But we'll continue.
Ordered a permanent injunction, and then pretty much right away, the Obama administration appealed it, I believe, on Friday evening. And then the Second Circuit Court, I believe it was, they issued a stay. So right now, as this goes live, Obama can indefinitely detain American citizens. And that's so scary. That's terrifying. That needs to be fixed. Because we all know that the federal government makes mistakes. They are not perfect. They are not gods. And for them to be able to label anybody a suspicious individual or a potential terrorist and then lock you up without representation or a trial, that's kind of like McCarthyism on steroids.
It's also just outrageous.
Yeah.
I think what we've talked about before is it sets the U.S. back about 8 centuries when King James was forced from the people to instill, the Magna Carta due process. I mean, this is a concept that goes back very far in human history, and to kind of just brush that under the rug with no one really knowing about it in this country. David, why don't people know about this very important piece of legislation that should be on front page of every newspaper?
It should be on the front page of the New York Times. It shouldn't be a little article, which is what they've been doing. Little articles with bad titles, so people go, I don't care about some terror law that was decided by a New York judge, whatever. They just skip right over it. I asked an anchor at Fox News, I said, why aren't you guys covering this defense bill and the implications of it? And his response to me was, we have. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I must have missed that 30-second segment when you discussed this, because if you were to poll 98% of Fox viewers, I think they would not only know, but they wouldn't know anything about this, they would be quite angry that Fox and MSNBC and CNN have not covered this adequately.
Well, David, you said before that this is kind of just a misdirection of the post-9/11 world, and I mean, to me, it's an insatiable urge from these policymakers to really grasp at any sort of power they can have until there's no more left because they've taken it all. But I mean, how does this all fit into trapwire, something else that you've been extensively researching? And
okay, guys, so you've heard their point of view on it. My thing is, I wanted to kind of revert back a little bit to my other series, why are most Christians apathetic towards human suffering? Okay, this has been going on for a long time. Obama is not the only one that has made people be allowed to indefinitely be taken and disappeared, basically. And it's amazing to me because it was mentioned on the news, and I mean, they're talking about it, but they're not talking about it how they should. But it is still out there, and it amazes me that a lot of Christian folks either don't even know about this, or when they hear about it, for somehow, some way, they can find that this is okay to do this to people, and they don't stand up about it. So I just don't understand that one right there, and that's apathy, yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, and I don't know. I don't understand why these kinds of laws are allowed to get into place in the first place. I don't understand how people even vote for this stuff. This is crazy, but do you guys notice this? Do you see this? Do you have anything to say about this? I would love to hear comments, rebuttals, whatever it is that you want to share about this problem, because it seems like we are more and more becoming slaves. We don't have freedoms. We don't have the right to say this shouldn't be done to us or should be done to us. It's just ridiculous. But please share with as many people as you can so that we can at least get people talking about this issue and maybe find some solutions for it. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.